Whenever the term ipsilateral is used, it can be kind of confusing which side we're referring to, especially when it comes to an exercise where one foot is staying planted and the other one is moving. For our purposes, I am calling the front leg the working leg because I'm going to be cueing a lot of things about our positioning around that front leg, but it doesn't mean that the back leg doesn't matter. It's just in terms of my terminology here, I'm going to be referring to the front one as the working one and the other leg as the assisting. So you're going to clean the bell up to the front rack position, and on the same side as that load, our foot is going to be planted. You want to make sure that that foot is facing straight forward because you're going to have your best balance with your foot straight forward, splaying your toes, so widening your toes as wide as you can and gripping the floor as hard as you can. Also make note of the knife edge of your foot. We want to maintain contact of the outside foot and the floor as much as possible, and especially the heel as well. That's going to help us create arch in our foot, which is going to give us more dexterity and more balance, especially in a dynamic movement like a lunge. From here, I'm going to be sliding my other foot back into a short lunge. I say short because we're only going to be achieving about a 90-degree angle in both knees, maybe even smaller than that. And the reason that I want you to keep the lunge short is you're going to have a little bit better control of keeping your weight loaded, mostly in the front leg when doing this. Now, when you are keeping that weight loaded in the front leg, it's going to require some things of your upper body and positioning that load to keep the weight in the front leg. Most importantly, your chest is going to slightly come forward, so the hip is going to slightly bend as you are going back into that reverse lunge. The more we can get that load forward over the knee, over the foot, the better chance we have at keeping 80 to 90% of our weight in that front leg. And the purpose of this is to load the glute, load the quad, load the ankle, and get as much as we can out of all of those joints in the working leg as possible. In standing up, you will be pushing through the back leg, that assisting leg, but I want you to really make note of the muscles in the front leg contracting to help you extend your leg. So thinking of contracting your glute, of squeezing your quad, and of really gripping hard with your feet, you might actually end up cramping in your feet, and that's okay. That means they're working. And last but not least, the arm that is holding the load. I need you to drive your elbow up underneath the body of that bell as much as possible. The reason is because if we are slightly hinging at the hip, that's going to mean that the chest is falling forward slightly if we are maintaining a totally neutral spine. And with that, we're going to have to use the power and the strength of our lat to help hold that load up. We can really only channel it if we drive the elbow up underneath the weight. Think of an Olympic weightlifter. Those elbows come up high, and if they don't, they typically will lose the barbell when catching in that deep squat. Think of this as the same thing. We need to keep our elbow underneath the bell and not allow the weight of the bell to pull us forward further than we are allowing it to. Please let me know if you have any questions about this. I'm more than happy to help.